This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Rachel Fife.
Well, welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Now, if you have tried everything in regards to your health and you're really looking to learn how to feed your body so it can heal itself, well, that resource is closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Carrie Wojciechowski, with Path to Health. Carrie, how's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
Well, we are really excited to learn about your business. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so I've been in business since June of 2012, so coming on 14 years. And the reason that I got into this and the reason that I love it so much and doing what I do is because I used to be really unhealthy. I'm coming up on 44 years old. And when I was 21, I felt like I was falling apart, like I was in my 90s. It was awful. I had back pain, back muscle spasms. I had chronic fatigue. I was 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I had what doctors thought was fibromyalgia. I had pre-diabetes. I had bursitis in my hips. I was just a mess. And I was going to doctors and they were putting me on 800 milligrams of ibuprofen 3 times a day just to manage my pain. And I couldn't dance. I am a hardcore dancer and I couldn't dance for 2 years because I was just in constant pain and it was depressing. And I thought, this cannot be my life. And so I luckily, thank you God, met a clinical nutritionist through my chiropractor. And she set me on my path and she just helped me see how gunked up my body was from just years and years and years of eating horrifically. And so I always thought that I'd been healthy because I was skinny and athletic. And I realized that I had not been fueling my body. And so for whatever reason, my body fell apart a lot earlier than most people's do. But in a way, I'm grateful because it led me down this path of helping people figure out what's missing in their bodies so that they can get their quality of life back, because I've been there and it sucks. So what I do with my clients now is I find out, what their goals are and and then I help them figure out their deficiencies, whether it's through blood work. I have embodied testing. I have non-invasive mineral testing. And then of course I look at what they eat and what they don't eat and their stress and their digestion and their hormones and all of that. And I use that to put together a plan that's specific to them.
Wonderful. Well, you kind of touched upon it in your first answer, how did you get into this business? So I guess, is there anything else you want to expand on with that, your personal journey? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny, when I was a late teenager, I was kind of into nutrition. It was like the fat-free craze of the 90s. And I thought I was doing, I was eating fat-free Cool Whip and fat-free chips. And, I was rationalizing in my mind that these things were healthy because they were fat-free. And so anyway, so when I started to have all of these health issues and I met this nutritionist, I had already actually done a 1-year certified health coach, holistic health coach kind of program. And it was great. It taught me like the basics of like digestion and blood sugar and stuff like that. But when I was done, I was like, I still have no idea how to help people. And so this clinical nutritionist that I mentioned, she was like, you need to go to this school. And so I went to Southern California University of Health Sciences for 3 years. And that's where I really learned like the nitty gritty and all the variables and how do they work together and like what nutrients feed which systems in the body. And then I started working in chiropractors' offices. They would kind of funnel their clients into me. And that was how I got my feet wet. I learned kind of how to talk to people and how to navigate, people's many issues and mindsets. And like, this is what I like to eat and this is what I don't like to eat. And so then I got sick of the hours and the pay because they were not very good. And I branched out on my own. And that's been 13 years that I've been doing it completely on my own. So perseverance is my superpower. I was like, I'm going to do this. I need to do this. I need to have the flexibility for my kids. And, I need to be able to make a living doing this as well. So.
Good. Well, what do you think are maybe some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
Oh, man. Well, a lot of people come into my office going, you're not going to put me on $500 worth of supplements, are you? And I'm like, no. Do people actually do that? And so a lot of people, Instagram, TikTok, all these things, like all these supplements that are being pushed in our faces constantly. I think people think that the only way to be healthy is to take lots and lots of supplements and that any healthcare holistic healthcare practitioner is going to push a lot of supplements. So that's one thing. And then the other one is that you have to be gluten-free. You have to do keto. You have to do paleo. You have to do, any of these fad diets. And some of them are beneficial to different people, but it's very, very specific. And so I'm gluten intolerant. And I always tell people, you don't have to not eat gluten just because I don't. I just happen to be gluten intolerant. So thinking that you have to give up any one food group in order to work with someone or to be healthy is not what I believe.
Wonderful. Well, now we know marketing is really the heart of every business. So how are you finding your clients?
Man, over the years, it's changed. I started out in a networking group a long time ago. And again, great kind of professional development. And I'm still in a networking group, but doing this as long as I have, it's a lot of word of mouth now. But I used to go to all kinds of networking events. I teach line dancing. So a lot of my line dancers, they know what I do. And I teach nutrition talks for the city of Mission Viejo once a month. And gyms will have me come in and teach nutrition talks on different topics that they think are relevant to their clients. So the years of public speaking, networking, and just kind of being out and about and sharing my passion.
Now, have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
I have, especially during COVID. I did a lot of Facebook. I've done things like this before. But I don't know. It's just never been strongly in my wheelhouse or I really want to do this. I'm going to make it happen. I guess I prefer, I don't know if I prefer, but so far what I have preferred is doing in-person public speaking events for companies and community centers.
Wonderful. So now outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, I love to dance. Love, love, love. I ballroom dance. I line dance. I swing dance. I just love to dance. I have 2 boys, so I am with my 16-year-old a lot. And I read, I binge watch TV. I put out so much energy when I'm dancing. So when I'm not dancing, I'm kind of okay, I'm just going to relax and watch TV or read a book or whatnot.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, Carrie, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about Path to Health.
Oh, man. Well, I always tell people I'm the least judgy nutritionist that you'll ever meet. I have been through it. Del Taco used to be my favorite. So I get it. I don't judge people and I don't beat people up about what they eat. And you shouldn't either. Don't beat yourselves up, guys, over what you eat because it's familial, it's cultural, it's comfort. It's like a routine. It's a habit. And so if you want to make changes, just 1 degree of change every day. Just add things into your bank account that make you feel good. And then a year from now, you'll be really surprised where you end up.
Wonderful. Well, how can our listeners learn more about Path to Health?
I've got a few different ways. You can check me out on Yelp. I've got some nice reviews from clients there. And I've got my website, pathtohealthoc.com. I've got a bunch of testimonials on there as well as my story, kind of how I ended up here.
Wonderful. Well, Carrie, gosh, I really just appreciate you being on the show and wish you and your business, all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnporangecounty.com. That's gnporangecounty.com or call 714-941-8862.
Wonderful. Great job.